Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a crazy story to share with you all. You won't believe what we discovered about my grandmother's past. This is a story about secrets, heartbreak, and a family that no one knew existed until, well, let's just say we found out the hard way. It all started one Easter Sunday. After dinner, we sat down with Grandma, an old woman in her 70s who had always been a bit of a mystery. No one really knew much about her past. She'd never talked about her family before. And, to be honest, we didn't really press her until that fateful evening. My mother had been trying to trace our family history on my dad's side, and Grandma was the last piece of the puzzle. At first, Grandma was vague about her father. She told my mom that he was a quiet man, never really mentioned much about his past. But then my mother pushed her harder, asking specific questions. Who was he? What was his life like before he married? Did she have siblings? That's when it all started to unravel. Grandma started getting agitated. She stood up, her hands shaking. "We don't talk about him," she said, her voice cracking. She hesitated, then added, He kept women in his shed." My mom was shocked. What did she mean by that? "He kept women in his shed," Grandma repeated, before bursting into tears. Apparently, this was not some kind of metaphor. Grandma's father had kept multiple women locked in a shed behind their house, using them however he pleased. He was abusive, and eventually, Grandma ran away with her children when she was in her 20s. She left everything behind. But no one, not even her own children, knew what had happened or why her. After Grandma passed away, we didn't think much of it. We continued with our lives, just like anyone would. But one day, years later, something arrived in the mail. A letter, postmarked from a small town we had never heard of before. The letter was from one of Grandma's daughters, one we never even knew existed. Turns out, Grandma wasn't just running away from an abusive husband. She was running from a life that she wanted to bury. She had 3 daughters before she married Grandpa, and they were all kept in secret. This letter revealed the shocking truth. The man Grandma had married was not her first choice, and she never talked about her first family. The daughters, who were all older than my mom, had spent their entire lives searching for her. They wanted answers. My mom was in tears reading that letter. She had no idea there were siblings she had never met, people who had been abandoned and left to grow up without a mother. They had lived their lives wondering what had happened to her, just as we had. And here, Grandma's secret was spilling out, decades after she had taken it to her grave. Here's the real twist. The daughter who wrote the letter came to visit us. But when she arrived, she dropped a bombshell. She had found out who her real father was. And it wasn't the man Grandma had married. Turns out, Grandma's first husband had died under mysterious circumstances, and she had kept his identity hidden to protect us all. But the truth, it wasn't just about who her father was. It was about why Grandma had never told us anything. To this day, we still don't know everything. But what we learned was mind-blowing. My grandma had buried her past so deep, and the truth about who we really were was hidden right under our noses for decades. The legacy of silence she left behind? Well, we've spent years piecing it all together. And some secrets, no matter how hard we try, never stay buried forever. So what do you think? Was Grandma just protecting us? Or was there something more to her silence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more wild family stories like this one. You won't believe what we uncovered next time.